This is Tom Colley for Through the Ropes Boxing. It's an absolute pleasure to be joined at the Matchroom Gym by none other than living legend Nigel Benn. Nigel, how are you?
I'm good. I'm fine, mate. How are you?
Yeah, very good, thank you. Very good.
What's your dad's name?
Trevor.
All right, Trevor, how you doing, bud?
Oh, he loved that. He loved that. I was telling Nigel, my dad was at the Gerald McLennan fight 10 rows back with my granddad. Said it was one of the best atmospheres he's ever experienced in boxing, and he's seen a lot.
Atmosphere with a knife that night. I remember that so well.
I mean, yeah, a lot of people expected McLennan to beat you that night. He came into Lions Den in London, and unbelievable fight. Knocked out the ring, come back.
Yeah, I think you know what it was. It was like, you know, he went all the way from light middle to middle, and then super middleweight. You know, you got to understand when you move up a weight, it takes you like 6 to 8 months to adapt to the weight. So it's just not like just fluid. You know, we're talking about. You know, it takes time to adapt to the weight, and he went like 2 weights up. And you know, and the first person that he's fighting at super middleweight is me, and I ain't gonna pull no punches.
Definitely not an easy touch. Can you remember going into that fight, Nigel, with people doubting you and everyone thinking McLennan was this monster? Can you remember how you felt? Did that get into your head, or did you not let that bother you?
Not about me. He's got to worry about me. Why do everyone say I got to worry about him? He had to worry about me. I was the champion. I was fighting super middleweight, so you know he moved up. You got to understand, it's like me. I'm not moving up to light heavy, mate. There are monsters in there, and they can bang hard. He can bang hard, but so can I. And when it's all right when the going gets tough. Do the tough get going?
Definitely, and I think that, you know, we saw that, and there was obviously some other fantastic fighters around at that time. Yeah. Your famous fights with Chris Eubank Sr, Steve Collins as well. Yeah. I mean, out of all those guys, who was the toughest in your opinion? What
you mean in all my career?
Yeah.
By far, Joe McLennan, the hardest puncher by far. There was other good fighters. I fought a guy called Reggie Miller, who was very, very skillful. You know, then you got Chris, who was a good boxer and puncher.
Just reliving that rivalry you had with Eubank was obviously one of the most famous rivalries in boxing. It was amazing too. Sort of clash of characters coming together. What was that like? And was there genuine animosity between you and Chris at that time?
I think it's not just only that time, it's just still now. It's just like we just don't see eye to eye. It's just like, I've got nothing against him, but we're just two different people. He's like, he tries to pretend he's eccentric, but he's not. I know the real Chris. You know, he tries to pretend that he's a gentleman and all that, but that's not the real Chris. You know, he needs to just be himself. You know, it's not that I really bother about him, but you know, just wish him all the best in whatever he does. But you know, I couldn't sit down and have a cup of tea with him. It's just like we're just different. We're just different people. That's it. If it was Michael Watson, Steve Collins, Henry Wharton, anybody else, I know I can sit down and have a chat with him, which I've done. But with him, it's just hard work. You know, the conversation's always about him.
That's fair enough. So still no love lost there then, Nigel.
No love lost. I ain't got nothing against him, but I couldn't go on a night out with him. You know what I mean?
Looking at the current crop of fighters that you've got now in your division, middles, do you look at those and guys that are around now, like Golovkin, you've got Canelo? Are those guys people you'd have liked to have fought? And do you think that you'd been able to beat those guys in your prime?
Listen, the people I would like to have fought would be Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns, Roberto Duran. You know, Sugar Ray Leonard, they're the boys. They're the guys that you want to fight. They're my era. They're the kind of guys that I looked up to. You know, not taking that away from Canelo, who's one hell of a fighter. I've got respect for Canelo. But yeah, my era have been Marvelous Marvin Hagler, Tommy the Hitman Hearns, Roberto Duran and Sugar Ray Leonard. They're the guys that you want to try and emulate. They're the kind of guys that you would like to have fought.
Ben Hagler, that would have been a serious fight.
Gosh, yeah, I mean, yeah, over 12 round, I'd give it my best shot. No way am I going to say, I would have beat Marvin. Marvin's the greatest, and I think, I would have loved to have fought all of them. I would have given it my best.
We know that.
That's all I would have done. I would just give it my best, mate, Come rain and shine or whatever, I would have been out there throwing hell for leather against Marvin.
I'm sure that would have been one. That would have been one, Nigel. And just moving on to your son, Conor, we did an interview earlier. He's got an upcoming, well talked about fight with Chris Eubank Jr. Yeah. Do you see that fight happening in February?
No, 100% see it happening. They're already they're back on. They've got their beef back on on Insta, and yeah, I just can't wait for the fight to happen. When it does happen, you know, I mean, I actually ain't got a worry in the world. I know my boy. I just know my boy, and like, you know, if Smith can do me in 3 or 4 rounds, I think what can Conor do? And it's not like, you know, how long, what round you predicting. I'm not predicting a round. I just think when Conor clumps him, he's going to know that he's been clumped, and he'll be clumped good. So I'm really not worried. I just, like, you know, it's we're not taking our eye off the ball. You know, Conor go out there, prepare like a champion, like he's always done. He don't cut no corners, so that's one thing I ain't got to worry about. His fitness level will just be another level above Eubank's.
That fight, when it does take place, is something that hasn't really been seen in boxing before, given the rivalry you had with Eubank Sr. And then for the two sons to be fighting, it's just incredible.
It's never heard of. It's never heard of. I don't know any 2 ex-world champion sons fighting. Never ever happened.
And does that just add to the need to win that fight? And
No. We don't do all that need. We don't do that need to win. Got to win. He knows what he's got to do. It's not about need to win. He's just got to do what he's got to do. It's not about, like, you know, oh yeah, we got to get this. You know, like, I would put all my eggs in one basket, mate. I know my boy, and I'm very, 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 very confident.
I think the whole of the boxing world is looking forward to that one, Nigel. And just finally, if there was one fighter you could have fought out of any fighter of all time, who would that be?
Froch.
I didn't expect you to say that.
Yeah, no, how did I?
That would have also been a good fight, I think.
Until I catch him, mate. If George Groves can put him down, I mean, I would have kept him down. But yeah, he would have been the person I would have loved to have fight, mate.
Nigel Benn, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks for coming on Through the Ropes.
God bless you, my friend.
Thank you, mate.